Yo, yo, yo. Excuse
Yeah.
me. Hey, what's good, Nova?
Hi, Max.
What's
How you
good with you?
doing? So many great things. So many great things. I had a beautiful day. How are you feeling today?
Man, fucking. Today was just one of those days where I just was extra busy for no reason. And it threw off my timing a bit. And I apologize. It's my fault we was late today. Nova was on point, ready to go, guns blazing, all of that shit. And
Right.
my punk ass was getting my life together. So I just want to apologize for my tardiness because, I pride myself on being on time for these and all of that. And I don't like when things start late. You know what I'm saying? Like it
Yes.
frustrates me.
hmm
So,
It's
I'm
okay.
just, I just gotta, make sure to stay on point with all of that because we got to do better. You feel me? Like this shit, we are here to provide a service to entertain and enlighten and educate all at the same time.
hmm
So, want to start off there. I had something else I wanted to say, but this shit kind of threw me off. But
But it's okay, Max, because we're human and we have lives and things happen. And that just also shows how dedicated we are to the podcast because we still show up even when the day is crazy and bonkers. We're showing up for people.
yeah, I mean, this is our little baby here. We can't just, throw the baby out with the bathwater, so to say, just because things are a little tricky for the night. And yes, Joy, you had said something earlier, but this wasn't even that. It was totally something else. And something when I came in the house, it was something I didn't take care of. I didn't remember. And yeah, that happened. So anyway, but the show will go on. The party shall continue. We are here now
We
and we
here, we
are
made it.
ready to go. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
And first things first, tell me what happened with you this weekend, how your weekend started off and all that stuff. Part of me, I'm hungry, so I was fucking gassed and like
Oh
in
no,
my
it's good.
throat.
I'm full and I'm actually feeling kind of nice. I just spent some time with my sister circle and my nephew who just
Ah,
came
the
home.
circle.
It was just such a beautiful vibe. And I was like, I gotta go. I set my alarm for 8:30. Like, I gotta go home. My weekend was beautiful. Friday night, I hung out with some ladies. We went to like a 90s R&B event. Saturday, chilled out during the day, and then hung out with the sister circle at night. We did some karaoke. It was a whole vibe. And I
Mm.
don't remember. Oh, Sunday. Sunday was a beautiful, bittersweet day. It was my grandmother's birthday. She passed away. Love that lady.
Ah, condolences.
Thanks. And she was so amazing. And it was also my youngest brother's birthday. So that was like, so it's bittersweet. It's like, all right, we still
Mm-hmm.
got you reviving. So it was great. And this week I'm off is spring break. So I'm
Nice,
relaxing.
nice,
It's,
nice.
it's awesome. I feel great, Max. How are you feeling? How was your weekend?
you know, when they say heavy is the head that
That is.
wears the crown.
hmm
This was one of those weekends, and not in a bad way. Don't get it twisted. I'm sounding a little tired at the moment, only because I've been ripping and running nonstop.
Yeah.
But it was a really good weekend. Like I had a really good time. I went out to Philly.
Okay.
Lisa's had an event out there. So I was out there, finally caught his event.
Oh, his
You
events are
know what
awesome.
I'm saying? So was out there for that. Had a little good time. It was a real good situation out there, all of that. And then
hmm
I shot back to the New York side, took care of business on Saturday. Now Sunday was even more fun
I bet.
because Sunday was when I got to what did this? I got to crack everybody's eardrums with my singing.
Oh, I missed that.
You know what I'm saying? Went to the Discreet Friends karaoke party. We had a really good time. It was a really good turnout. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of fun. It was definitely a lot of fun, and it was a nice crowd there. Took a lot of pictures. I actually have a lot of the pictures up on my page. Yes, there's video evidence. Hey, Izzy, there's video evidence
Hey,
of my
Izzy.
terrible singing. Because I will tell you, I will never actually try to sing in public. I can only do it when people aren't paying attention or when the crowd is super duper small, and then I'll still hurt your eardrums some, just not quite as bad as I would in an open situation. I wanted to have fun, so I even made my voice crack just to have a little fun on the second song.
Ooh.
It was really bad. I was like, yes, we have the guys that pull up that really be singing on the show. Good evening, Jordan. You know what I'm saying? We really got those that, and trust me, they was doing their thug this. I was like, listen, after you did that, all I'm gonna do is go up there and clown. I'm not even gonna try to really sing. Fuck that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, because that shit is like my singing is a different kind of bad. It's like it's melodic bad because it almost sounds like it could be good, but then it still ends up bad. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we at with that. It was a good time. It was one of the more positive moments being around my wonderful, and I say this, it's one of those things where I look and I say, those one of those moments where you really look and you just say, yo, my life is really good and really blessed for being able to share it with so many amazing people that are like-minded like myself. And that's one of the reasons that I love being in the LS, because also it's about the non-LS moments. It's not always about just going and having the shenanigans and fooling around. Nah, trust me. And I mean, yeah, we all love that stuff. But it's also about, like fellowshipping and all of that stuff. Hey, CJ, all of that stuff. Yeah, I'm sure you. Anyway, ain't gonna start that right now. But it's just one of those things where you really get to appreciate the moments of just friendship and making people realize. Like I have people that are vanilla that I talk to about LS things, and to them, they just think we're a bunch of naked people running around swinging from the chandelier. And that's not what we're about at all. We run a lot deeper than that. And moments like this are just reminders of how deep we really can run it. But like I said, it was a really good time. And shout out to that bar too, because the drinks were really affordable. I don't even know how many drinks I bought, but that check was not bad when it was over. I was like, oh, okay. Because I bought a few drinks that night. And I didn't, because I wasn't just buying for me, I bought for me and a couple other people, and it was a good time.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds like fun. I knew I was missing a good time, but, family calls.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You got to do what you got to do when you got to do it.
So today we're picking back up on what we like and our dislikes about the lifestyle. Right, and we got some subtopics that we want to touch on. But last week was really good. I rewatched the show, and I was like, that was really informative. So if you missed the show last week, make sure you go back. And if as long as you liked, shared, and subscribed, you can go back anytime.
I love how she points right to it. So organized.
Yeah.
CJ, you get lashes for missing the show and not rewatching it by now. So, yep, drink your water and mind the business that pays you.
I am.
Anyway, so yeah, let's get into this. So I want you to jump off with your perspective. I know you got something else that we're going to tap into later, but we're going to swing into that in like maybe 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But let me know what your thing is that you pulled after watching that show, something else that came to your mind.
Definitely the dom and sub relationship, because I am not like 100% interested, but I like to educate myself like you. And so I've read up a lot on dom sub relationships and dynamics and what makes it a healthy connection. And I think that it was just really dope that we have people who stand up for what the LS truly means and all the subtopics of the LS. So when you were like really passionate about the fact that some doms are really abusing the privilege of being a dom and subs aren't aware of their role and their rights, that really stood out to me. So that was really important because, you know, who knows if eventually one day I want to explore that part of the lifestyle. I now know, like, no, it's that's not how it's supposed to be, and this is how it's supposed to be. And so I feel like we covered a lot of 101s last week, and it was really dope. Yeah. So that was one thing that I really loved. And just talking about the different dynamics and everybody else's perspective is really good, because if we're all on the same page, then nobody can come and infiltrate this and taint it. And you know, that is sacred to me. And so I really enjoy that.
Okay. I like that.
Thanks.
Now, I'm going to give my 2 cents on the whole dom, right? Because it's something that I hold near and dear to my heart. Something that really matters. Make sure y'all are sharing this. It is set to public, so you can share it anywhere in the universe. Let people get up on here. When y'all complain about these knucklehead niggas that be up on here and out here, because that's where I was last week when I was flaming off before we got off this show. And I was talking about how there's a lot of people who don't do their research and don't really understand their stuff. I want to reiterate this one thing because it's very important. Hey, Lauren, what's up, Harleys? Harleys is a very interesting individual. I like her.
Is Harleys BLK show?
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah. See, I know.
And she's yummy to look at too.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just saying that out loud because I do what I like to talk about people to their face. Yo, KD, what's up, man?
Hey, KD.
So and I got y'all flyer. I'm gonna put it up. I'm gonna put it up for later. So I got the new flyer. I have it saved up here. I'm on point. Might have been late, but I'm on point. Anyway, so the number one thing I want to say, because like I said, it's something near and dear to me. I'm studying actively, as I do have submissives that operate under me. And even though I have a wealth of knowledge, I have people that I can tap in that have way more knowledge than even I do. And I understand the process and the hierarchy and all of that. I still, at this moment, and I know reading, listen, if y'all don't like to read, they have audiobooks. They have YouTube podcasts that are dedicated to this stuff. You can go to the BLX experience. We have people on there who are very much educated in the art of BDSM. I believe at least 2 of the ladies definitely are actively practicing in those fields. So you could get your game without even having to read a motherfucking book, if it's that hard. So my thing is that I really implore you guys to understand the importance of being in service as a dominant, because the DS relationship is an act of service just as much as an act of leadership. And leaders actually are in service to their team. So understand, when you have a team, if you're the point guy on that team, you can take this out of the LS.
Yeah.
You got an echo coming.
I do?
You got an echo. Yeah, you do. Okay. Be careful with your phone and your thingy.
Okay.
So understand that you have your team, and with that team, and this, listen, I'm going to even add Polly to this too. When you have your team, because they're similar in that way, you're the leader of that team. You're the head of the table. The buck stops with you. Understand that as a leader of the team, you serve your team and however they need to make sure that the wheels spin smoothly.
Mhm.
You can't do that if you out here just balling for yourself. That's why some players on basketball teams or football team, whatever, especially basketball, I say, they can score all the points they want and their team still sucks. Because you got to make your team better too. It's not just about you. And you do that by being in service to them. When it's time to educate them, you got to teach them right, because there are things you're going to know that they might not know, and vice versa. They're going to teach you too. A smart leader also understands that they learn from their team just as much as they teach their team.
That's right.
In a leadership position.
Yeah.
These are the things that you need to understand. And you also need to be understanding and realistic with yourself. You can't learn how to be a dom. Being a dom is a part of who you are. It is a part of your energy. It is something that you are anointed as, because women in submissive positions come to you and recognize you as a person that they want to follow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So all of that being said, I could probably do a whole show talking about that. But my point is, ladies, y'all got to be smart in these guys that y'all connecting yourselves to. And I say ladies because it happens with the ladies 98% of the time, more so than with the men. Mm-hmm. Ladies, y'all need to really don't fall for the dick and the pretty face and he's might be spending a little money and making it sound good. Nah, you got to really evaluate this. Really pay attention to the content of their character before you lock yourself on. Yes. Hey, Lola, what's up?
Hey, Lola.
You can't allow yourself to get caught up. And that's the thing. And actually, that spins into something else I want to say, which is you have to watch out for the predators.
How do you recognize the predators, though?
You recognize predators? Like, I'll give you an example. There was a girl that I found interesting at the party, right? At the karaoke thing. Mm-hmm. Very attractive girl. I was like, might be interested in seeing what's up with something, blah, blah, blah. The first thing I do when I talk to females, I look at her hand. If I see you got that ring, now I'm asking about your man. Okay, what's y'all dynamic? Blah, 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 blah. See, I use myself as an example. I could tell 1,000 different stories. But I'm going to just give myself as an example. And what I did after that was, after she told me, blah, 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 okay, cool. I started asking different information. I ain't even going to give the whole conversation. Mm-hmm. But I started asking different information so that I could understand not just her, but him.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I made sure that I respected his existence. Mm-hmm. Like, there are literally people that have tried to push up on my girls, and as soon as they found out that they was under max, they ran for the hills and didn't want no part.
That's how you spot a predator, because they don't even they don't have the capacity, audacity, the confidence to even address the situation in the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
Lola, I don't claim I'm single because I'm way too hands full to say I'm single at this point.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I just said my girls. Well, how am I going to say I'm single? That'd be crazy. That's doing a disservice to them. And these girls look out for me hard body. Actually, one of them bought me these Fenty drawers, the Savage X Fenty joints. I've never worn that because all I wear is polo. Anybody that's ever seen me with my clothes off knows everything on under my clothes is polo. Even my cologne, the main one I wear right now, is polo. And my whole thing is saying that is that I tried them today because I was like, let me see how these fit. Now, I'm not going to front. I'm more of a classic cotton boxers guy, let the dang dangle, nice and comfortable. These are boxer briefs, and they kind of got that silkiness to them, but they're breathable. So you're not sweating. I'm not feeling sweaty. I'm not feeling anything like that. I will say, and I mean, listen, Rihanna, you want to give me a check? I'll take it. I'll talk that shit. I'm a valid guy because I'll tell you, I'm a guy that catches many erections throughout the day, and I will tell you that they stretched out appropriately and went back down without making me feel like my joint was gonna crack from expanding within them.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I like that.
So they're very comfortable, but you do got to get used to the fact that everything's being cradled. Because if you're used to dangling and now you're cradling, you can feel like, even now, I kind of feel like I want to fuck with it. But no, I'm trying to get used to the cradle, because when the ladies say that they want to see you in that shit, you got to put that shit on. You know what I'm saying? And yes, I changed subjects like this. Because I just had to talk about, no, but I had to talk about the drawers real quick because I said I was going to talk about that. But so anyway,
I got my chat pulled up. What's she talking about? Because it sounds like she has a lot of experience with Doms.
Who?
Harley.
Oh yeah, Harley's is all like deep in the mix. Oh well, it's Harley. I'm fucking it up because I'm saying it with what I see there. But she's actively in that world, hard body. Like, she does that shit. Yeah. Also, Topanga, who's also on the show, she also practices in that too. But I think Harley's even more consistent with it than even she is. But both of them actively practice as mistresses in that world. And my whole thing of saying all of that is that you have to understand, the moment that you mention a man and that man squirrels up and wants to run away, that is a sign. Thank you, KD. Harley's an instructor. See, I wasn't sure. I knew she did something, but I couldn't remember exactly what it is. But like I said, you got to be careful with that. Because, and like, the girls will come to me and be like, yo, it's crazy. Because I'm not the type, like, I'll say this on here. I'm not stopping them from playing. They not playing with you because they don't want to. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not even that type of person. Like, I'm the type of person, I'm also a swinger, as well as being a person that was put in the position of dominant. And being that I'm that person, but I'm still a swinger, I say, if you want to swing, but if you're going to move funny, please don't do it. Because I'm always 2 seconds off of 5 seconds from pushing somebody through a wall. Please give me a reason. My leg is jumping right now because I used to fight in tournaments. So my fighter's instinct kicks in. I get excited over the thought of beating somebody up. But I wish I could show you my leg right now. This shit is literally jumping because I get excited for the thought of conflict. But my whole thing is
what people should do if they haven't vet. So I like what Harley is saying. She's like, make sure that you vet, make sure you take time, ask questions, all of that stuff. That's how you know that you're.
Hold up, can we highlight that? I just want to put that up there.
Yeah.
Which one was it? That wasn't that comment.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. You just added. You paraphrased. Okay, go ahead. Continue.
Yeah.
Continue.
Taking time to get to know people, because sometimes we jump into it because we're attracted to the energy in that moment. We hear what they say and stuff like that, but we need to have multiple conversations over a period of time before we decide that we're going to enter into any kind of dynamic with anybody. Because if you're consistent, the lies will come out and the mask will fall off. So take your time, ask questions. It doesn't have to be about. Ask about their reputation too. That's part of vetting. I've learned that myself. Asking about their reputation, making sure, like, okay, if you have mutual friends, you can ask about them, because someone's reputation should be stand up no matter who you talk to.
Right.
So I like that too.
And understand this. Let me tell you motherfuckers something. I'll talk to these predator motherfuckers. We dragging niggas in 2025. We gonna take this back to old school. So if I find out that you praying or doing something that you are not consensually authorized to do, I'm gonna drag your ass on out. And it won't be like I won't have help, because trust me, I'm just speaking for all the men that stand up for the women in this community, which the majority of us do, because without y'all ladies here, it would be no community, number one. And number two, as men, it is our instinct to protect the females that we have around us. So my whole thing is, that being said, for you motherfuckers that think y'all gonna try it, I'm just gonna tell you, I'm watching. Even when I'm drinking and I'm surrounded by women and they all doing different things. Trust me, I'm watching you in the background plot.
Mhm.
When I'm watching girls playing and I see you trying to creep up behind, I see you got your hand on your pants like you about to try something. I'm fucking watching as I'm watching the sexiness happen. And I'm waiting for you to do that wrong violation move so I can drag you. I don't give a fuck about security. I'll throw you right in their arms and go right back to what I was doing.
And that's the accountability that we need in the lifestyle. We need to know that there are safe spaces in the room for when we're not feeling comfortable, when we feel unsafe, when we feel like somebody is trying to cross a boundary. We don't have to wait for it to actually happen.
Yeah, because I'm being proactive with that shit. I see that shit off rip.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already, and I'm not looking the other way, Tanya. I'm saying it now. And
That's
I'm going to apologize ahead of time because I know people always see me as friendly, Max, nice guy, because that's who I am. I swore a vow of nonviolence, but I will violate that vow if I see somebody violating somebody's personal safety or sexual comfortability.
That's right.
That's just how that's going to go.
That's right.
And that actually segues into the other thing you wanted to talk about. Mm-hmm. Because there's something else that happens out here a lot and happens in the background. And ladies and gentlemen too, we need y'all to speak on this because I'm hearing things. Not going to say where I hear from, but you got to remember, I know people all over the fucking country. And I hear different things from different people, even people who you would never think. But I'm going to just tell you, you should always keep your fucking hands to yourself. If you are upset about something, go find a punching bag, go hit that shit, or go take a walk, take a breath, all of that stuff. Because if I find out that you're one of those, I'm snitching. I'm going right to the promoter, and I'm be like, that person there is a violent offender, and they are known to beat on their woman, and they should not be allowed to come up in this situation unless they've had some rehabilitation. I will say, there's always room for rehabilitation. But if I don't know that rehabilitation has happened, there will be no forgiveness from me.
Heard.
Speak on this, Nova, because I know you had some things.
Yeah, because recently I had a conversation with a friend of mine who had been kind of absent recently. And even in absence, we know that life is busy, so I wasn't offended. But when we caught up, I felt something was wrong, and I had actually just popped up on her. And she was out with her partner, and I had a conversation with her mom, and I was like, what's going on? Like, I feel like I should be worried. And I think one of the things you said is something I want to touch on is that abuse doesn't have to be physical. And that's a huge red flag. And so, finally we were able to have a heart-to-heart conversation. And she was questioning herself, second guessing herself. It was because yesterday was National Day of Rest for Black Women. And so I'm reaching out to all my women. I'm like, what we doing today? We resting, we getting facials, like we having a good time. And she said, I can't come around because if I come around, I'm just going to be crying. And I was like, I'm on my way, right? Like at this point, I'm on my way.
That was it. Yeah.
That's all I need to hear, right? And so, this person, we've been friends for decades, so we go back. And I'm talking to her and I'm just listening to some of the things that her partner was saying to her and the ways that he was treating her and the manipulation that was coming up. And I just had to point it out blatantly. And I was like, no, this is abuse. This is abuse. When someone calls you names, that's abuse. When someone tries to manipulate you, that's abusive. When someone tries to make it seem as though like they're gaslighting you, making it seem as though you're bugging for having a valid opinion, that's abuse. When someone makes you question yourself and who you are and what you know to be true, that's abuse. And when you're in an abusive dynamic, like it means a lot to me because I'm all about women's empowerment, and it just really hurt my heart. And I was saying, like the fact that you're second guessing yourself is sign enough. The fact that, and he had done some things while she was asleep, and he had gotten so verbally abusive that one day someone else in the house had to come downstairs and be like, stop, just stop this conversation right now. And people will think like, oh, well, I want to give him a chance and he hasn't hit me and things like that. And that is a huge red flag. When you find yourself hiding what's happening in your relationship from people who you know are safe places, that's a sign of abuse. When you find yourself second guessing things, when you find yourself in depressive states, when you find yourself isolating. And I had to say that to her. I said, since you've been in this relationship, you haven't been around. Right. And that's not her baseline, right? And so all of those things, to this moment, she's still second guessing herself, but I'm just really grateful that finally she felt okay telling me that. And she felt bad because she's not one of those people who will be like, just, like, on the phone, talking about her partner. She's like, I don't want him to feel like I don't want to submit. I don't want him to feel like this. And it was like, no, that's not who you are. You are a submissive, respectful woman. And the fact that you're second guessing even your own character is a sign that you're being abused. And so I wanted to talk about that because like I'm angry, sad right now. Like it just hurts my feelings.
No, I got to tell you something. I'm going to share something else with y'all because nobody knows this. This is the first time anybody knows this. There was a part of my life where abuse was in my home. Fortunately for me, my mom's is a fighter. She fucked that nigga up. Like, she hit him with the 2-piece and left the biscuit on the side. Like, I remember seeing her box.
Yeah. And
I was younger at the time. But I will tell you, as I'm listening to this, I'm getting goosebumps. My eyes is watering up.
Me too.
I'm actually having emotional reactions and I'm getting angry.
Me too.
Because you got to understand something. And listen, I'm as dominant as they come. I have the level of expectation of respect and all that as they come. And aside from when I say I'm going to spank some ass or do something which is playful and consensual, pleasureful spankings, not I'm beating them to injure or hurt in the said individual beyond their thresholds. There's a difference. My thing is this. Y'all need to recognize the first signs of abuse. When you get into a dynamic with somebody, see, I'm rocking right now. I got to calm down.
I feel you.
Hold on. I got to get my thoughts straight. Pardon me for a minute.
No, take your time.
All right, so
serious topic.
So here's the thing. Yeah, I'm getting a pain in my back of my neck and everything. I got to calm down for real.
Breathe.
My whole thing is that, yeah, I'm a breather. I'm going to take this.
Yes, breathe, stretch, shake, let it out. Because it's a serious topic.
Let me tell you this. All right. My thing is that you don't, like, you got to recognize the first signs of abuse. It's not when he hits you. And especially in his lifestyle, it's when he's trying to control your nature. Because your nature is who you are. If they don't respect you for who you are, and I'm going to get to this comment in a second. I want to get to these comments.
Yeah, I love
but
it.
If you don't control who they are, if you're trying to control who you are, like if you're the type of girl who has always been a swinger, every time you're either full swap or you played independently and all that stuff, blah, 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 you got to get with a guy who's okay with that. Stop making excuses for these niggas that claim, oh, nah, I'll get there one day or blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. That is a form of abuse in the making because he's trying to control your body and how you use it. That is not for him to do. Yes. Even me as a dominant individual, I give the ladies their freedom. The only time I'll put my foot down is if I know there's something that might be harmful to them, or if I see an unsafe situation, then I will just be like, nah, don't do that because something I might know or whatever the case may be. But that's just a safety precaution. Other than that, I say, we're here to have fun. This is supposed to be recreation for us as a part of our life. We don't need this to be a controlling ass situation. Of course, you have levels and people always try to hide behind that. Oh, that's just my dynamic. No, that's the dynamic that he chose. And you just going through it. Just like the girls who only eating pussy because their man wants a girl who eats pussy, but in reality they don't like doing that shit, and he's pretty much forcing you to do that. That's fucking abuse.
It's abuse. And I think that what happens is, especially, I'm going to speak for myself. Like, I'm 37 years old. I'm single. I don't have any children. I, transparently want a child one day. And she's a few months older than me, and that's been her dynamic. And so I think what happens is people come in, I won't just say men, but people come in and they prey on your vulnerability, and they use the things that you share with them against you. And, that's when you know that you're with an abuser. So this person knew what some of her vulnerable spots were, and they played on it, and they said, well, can you even be submissive to me? And like things like that. And I can't tell you how many times I said to her, that is not okay. This is abuse. That is not okay. This is abuse. And so I also want to say that sometimes we judge our friends when they get into these relationships and they start like not coming around as much and things like that. But I want us to make sure that we're not personalizing it, because sometimes it's a silent cry for help. And these people are in dynamics they can't speak about.
And can we just focus on that one part you said real quick? When you see them isolated, like, for example, I'm going to use me as an example, because men get abused too, but it tend to be in different ways. It might not be physical with us because ain't nobody really beat me up like it's that as far as women go. But it'd be mostly emotional. But if you notice, like, for example, I have my friends that are on here, like, I can't even go down the list of how many of them is on here. But my whole thing is, like, for example, I'll use Lola, for example, because Lola tends to greet me very friendly when she sees me. That's my friend. Now, the thing is now all of a sudden, I'm acting all squirrelish towards like, yo, nah. And I'm kind of like pushing off and acting all nervous, like as if my world's gonna fall on the top of my head. That could be a sign that something's going on behind the scenes that you ain't aware of.
Yeah, and people say you acting funny.
Yeah, you acting different. Now, granted, I understand. Obviously, if you were single and you used to do these things single, but in your relationship, y'all dynamic is y'all don't do certain things, you can just, quietly on the side be like, hey, I got to go easy on this because this one feels a little jealous from this activity, but we still good and still love and it's all good. You can make things clear, but my whole thing is a lot of time that's not what it is.
Right.
Like Harley said earlier, they seclude you. It's about isolation. They try to take you away from all your friends. They're normally the type too. This is a key thing to pay attention to, because I've dated girls like this. When I want to hang out with my friends, because I'm never the type that's running around with my friends all the time. A lot of times I'm chilling or I'm linking up with girls that I'm fucking with. Something's going on that. Have an attitude because I'm linking up with my friends. That's the sign of somebody who could be abusive on the emotional side. Now let me sling these comments, because I know you got some more to say here. And see, Harley said it. It said abuse can be verbal, mental, and emotional, and it happens a lot in the LS and isn't publicly talked about enough.
Yes.
And that's why I'm here to say something about it, because I wish somebody would say something to me, because I'm calling out your bullshit. Because I ain't got time to be seeing women getting beat on. Go ahead.
And I think that it should be talked about more often. And we have to make sure that we find our safe spaces to talk about this to people. And when you're in an abuse situation, you don't always feel comfortable to share what's going on. You're embarrassed. Like you feel like something is wrong with you. I'm the common denominator. It's always me. And so I think that, I don't like to always put all the pressure on the person who's being abused to come forth. I think it's important for us to see the signs and see the changes in behavior and not to be offended. Like we become offended, like, oh, well, I saw you out with your man last night, but you couldn't respond to my text message, and like things like that. And I think that if we just are paying more attention to the signs, there are so many things, so many events that, this friend wasn't a part of for me this past year. but I know her, and I vowed to not take things personal. And I think because
Hmm.
I was able to do that, when she was ready to talk, I'm here and I'm fully present. And I'm not like, oh, well, if you was here with me, you wouldn't have had to deal. Like, no, we're not doing that. We're not victim blaming. I'm providing a safe space because this is not okay and you deserve that.
And let's touch on something else too. Fellas, especially, well, ladies too. When you are a friend to the abuser, you need to hold them accountable
That parts.
and let them know that this shit is not okay. If you gonna move like this, I'm not fucking with you. Because a lot of times, and I think somebody else said that earlier, and I'm gonna read what CJ said in a minute because she gave a whole disclosure here,
Hmm.
and it deserves to be read out because it's a big thing that a lot of people have went through or are currently going through right
Yes.
now. But I just want to finish this thought. Like I said, you have one of those friends that you know is handsy, that you know is either physically or mentally abusive or whatever. You gotta let them know that that shit is not okay because
Absolutely.
you're basically a co-offender
Oh,
when
yeah.
you turn the blind eye to the situation. Like if I was rolling with a dude and he was beating on his shorty, I'm gonna be like, listen, I'm not fucking with you because I don't fuck with that. I take that very personally.
Absolutely.
Lucky if I don't beat his ass myself. But my whole thing is that even if I don't get involved in it in that way, anonymous tips happen every day, B. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because my whole thing is that a lot of people, like a lot of times when people are being abused, they get Stockholm syndrome and stuff like that. They start to think that this shit is just a normal part of existence. Oh, I pissed him or her off. You know, I got to stop saying him because it happens the other way too.
Yeah. It sure
Like,
does.
ladies, when you're throwing shit at your nigga because he made you mad, or
Abuse.
you're attacking him because you know he's not like me, I'm not hitting a woman because one hit from me, they may never get up.
Hmm.
So I don't do those things. Plus, I just don't have the interest in violating a woman physically like that. Like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, if I'm mad, I'm gonna either let them know how I feel and bounce, and just get them the fuck out my universe. If I ever have to get that mad.
That part.
But the whole thing is, ladies, if you're throwing shit at your man, like that shit you see in these videos and everybody laughs at when the woman throws something at them, that's not okay. That shit is just as bad. If you are physically attacking your man because you say to yourself, oh, well, he ain't gonna do nothing anyway, you are being abusive.
100%.
And fellas, you need to get out of there too. I don't care how fly she is, how good the pussy is, whatever it is. Man, fuck that shit, man. Let me tell you something. Good pussy is a lot easier to find than you may think. And honestly, all she's good for is that her value is gone the moment she became violent. All she is a wet hole to stick your dick in. So devalue her and get her the fuck up out your circle. And like I said, for the ladies, the same thing.
Same thing.
If you fucking with a dude and he's sitting up there and he listen, and like I said, with the friends, y'all, ladies and gents, gotta hold your friends accountable and not be their friend and not let them feel accepted anywhere. You gotta make them feel like pariahs for being the kind of person that they are. So this way they'll go out and get help because they realize, and then like I said, as far as lifestyle goes, there are promoters who know for a fact that niggas is out here loose or chicks is out here loose cutting the fuck up. And they still let these niggas or chicks come in these parties and then I gotta kick their ass if they cut up. Because you let them in the first place because you just needed that dollar so motherfucking bad.
It's not
That
okay.
shit is unacceptable. Let me read this CJ comment real quick and then we go and get back to your next thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she was commending you for being such a great friend and pointing out about that abuse. She said she didn't leave her abuser until someone sat her down and pointed out how she shouldn't be living like that. And that's important because some people don't realize that this isn't the way you're supposed to live.
Yeah.
Some think due to whatever way they might have grew up thinking that this shit is okay. And, you know, she said that it literally saved her life.
Yes.
And she's a domestic violence survivor since February 2018. And she'll never forget that day that she finally left for good. That's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Because that's very important. You got to know when the fuck to leave. And you know, sometimes and this is why I said your friends are important. Never let somebody isolate you from your friends because you need somebody that's going to give you that looking glass to show you what really is supposed to be going on out here so they can save yourself. You know how many people die from their spouses and or partners because they finally went too far? The chick, and it can happen to a dude too. Don't sleep, fellas. She hit you in the head with an iron. You might not ever get up. Bomb, bomb, bomb. You at the crossroads, bro.
Yeah, and this is nothing to take lightly. Like some people be like, "Oh yeah, she
Nothing
crazy,
at all.
he crazy," you know, like, "Oh no, he just want to make sure." And it's like, no, that's not okay, and that's not safe. Know the signs. Know the signs for yourself. Know the signs for people around you. I know the signs because of the work that I do, the upbringing that I've had. And so for me, it's easy for me to be like, no, this is not okay. And I'm here. And I'm also here even if you decide to go back, right? My hope is that you'll leave and you'll stay gone. But sometimes people lose friends when they try to leave, which is also the most dangerous time of an abusive relationship, when you try to leave. And so I want to point that out because sometimes people are like, well, I'm just going to leave. And people don't leave for a reason. People don't leave for financial reasons. People don't leave for safety reasons. Whatever their reasons are, they don't leave. But there's resources out there.
Yes, I was going to say that. Is that there are literally shelters, especially for like women victims of domestic abuse. Yeah, well, the men's one, they give you a harder time
No,
to get in.
New York State has passed a law years ago, and I don't think
did they?
And yes, and men have to be allowed. They cannot be rejected from a shelter because it's a woman only. Even women only shelters have a legal obligation to put a man in a hotel so that he can be safe.
See, I learned something new today because I did not know about the men's part of that.
I don't play about
but that's very, very important. And look at what Landon said here. He said he got beat at a fucking LS party. Talking about he didn't even defend himself. You know what I'm saying? He just turned around and left.
See, and I'm sorry, and I hope that got banned because
see,
not okay.
No, but see, this spins around. If we want to go back to the LS thing, this spins back around to what we talk about when we say things we like and don't like. This is one of the things we don't like too. Again, and I mean, it's been emphasized on KD's show. I'm going to emphasize it. Personally, I don't think niggas need to be on drugs when they're in these spots. I think certain drugs just can make you crazy, hallucinogenics, and you smoking a little weed, ain't nobody ever got violent off of smoking weed. But if you mixing your weed with some dust, or you fucking doing some fucking PCP, or you doing some other fucking what other kind of hallucinogenics there are, the mushrooms and all that shit. Yeah. I know shrooms are big in the LS. A lot of people, oh yeah, taking me some shroom. And I get it. People like to enhance or take an ecstasy, things like that. People like to enhance their experience. But the thing is, do that shit in your motherfucking house. When you coming out in public, you need to carry yourself accordingly. Because there's too many of y'all that come out and you get yourself all doped up. Number one, you end up fucking somebody didn't even mean to fuck them, but because you were so skied up, you end up fucking them. Then you want to hit them with abuse or falsely accuse them of rape. And the problem is once somebody gets labeled like that, especially as a man, and especially, I'm going to say it, as a black man, when you get labeled something like that, it is 10 times as hard to pull that off, even if you are found to be not guilty of the motherfucking shit. Because as a black man American, I'm going to say it, and trust me, I'm not racist at all or whatever, but I'm going to just speak the facts because that's what we do on this show.
Right.
As a black man in America, we are always guilty until proven fucking innocent. Somebody else could literally do the same exact thing as we're accused of, and if they are of the right race, they'll be tried and treated way differently than we are. That's why I say there has to be an extra level of awareness, especially
Yeah.
if you are a person of color. But everybody should be aware and be protecting themselves. And nobody should want to be in an environment where everybody's so doped up on drugs and alcohol and everything else that they don't even know who they are and where they at.
And Max, I will say this because one of the misconceptions is that when people are under the influence, they're not themselves. And I completely disagree. If you're under the influence and you become more aggressive, that's truly who you are. It's just your inhibitions are let down. And now you're
Hmm.
not restricting yourself from tapping into who you are. So you need to do the work on yourself. Because if you get angry or drunk or high or whatever, and your anger makes you more impulsive, aggressive, that's at your core, and you got to do some work to work on your core.
I want to get this comment. This is a big one because this is why a lot of times people don't like to fuck around with these abusive situations. Tanya Ted said, if you hold people accountable, the partner still chooses to stay, which happens a lot. And
Yes.
then the friend who spoke up becomes the enemy. Manipulators and gaslighters will quickly make the friend that spoke up the enemy and isolate the abused even more. 100% true,
It
but we
is.
can't let that stop us. We have to be zero tolerant.
Yes.
Absolutely. Listen, I will risk my friendship to save my friend's life
Absolutely.
because sometimes it's bigger than my relationship. At that point, I'm trying to make sure that I ain't got to be standing over their fucking grave and then I got to catch a charge because this nigga, if he takes her out, I'm taking him out.
And
Because
that's
I'm the
exactly
kind
what
of motherfucker that will come to the cops and be like, listen, you better catch him before I do because you're going to have me in cuffs next.
and that was the conversation I had yesterday with my friend, with her mother present. Like, listen, I understand that this is hard, but I can, and this is what I said, and it hurt my heart to say it. I said, in a year from now, I could hear you telling me that he hit you. And let's stop the abuse before it gets physical. Like it's bad enough that it's verbal because it imprints your heart and your soul. Let's not let it get to the place where it also becomes physical. And so I agree with you, Max, 100%. I'd rather have this conversation with you and then you cut me off. And I know that my heart is clear. I'm clear because
Hmm.
I did what I needed to do by this friendship. I was in integrity. I had my integrity. I had my character. I told you that I was a safe space. So if 5 years from now you decide to leave, I'm still a safe space for you. But I have to say it and I got to say something.
And here's the thing, just like you fight for your relationships when they go through turmoil, you got to fight for your friendships. Even when your friend, listen, if you're only a friend when it's convenient, you're not a real friend.
That
You got to be willing sometimes to save a person from themselves and understand that that has to be a situation where you step up and you don't take no for an answer. They want to push you away, you gonna be on them like a cheap motherfucking suit.
Yeah.
Be
Yeah.
like, yo, listen, I'm not backing down. You want me to back down? You gonna have to take my ass the fuck out because I'm not backing the fuck down. If
Yeah.
we gotta fight, if we gotta fight to keep you from getting fucked up by this nigga, then we gonna fight. Then let's get in the ring and knuckle up because we about to roll around this dirt. Because I'm not gonna bury you.
I'm not going to bury you and I'm not going to bury you while you're still alive, right? Because that's one of the things that abuse does. It kills you while you're still living. You feel like you're a
Mm-hmm.
shell of yourself. You feel like you're not even who you can't even recognize yourself. And sometimes, we all struggle with certain things. And my friend struggles with depression. I said, I've seen you depressed before, and nothing in me is going to allow you to get to a depressed state because of somebody else. Like, it
Right.
was hard enough to pull yourself out of that hole before. We are not going back to that hole when we can prevent it. And so whatever happens, whatever the person says, because the person will make you feel like you're bugging, like you're overreacting, like you're reaching, you're doing too much, and blah 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 blah. The person will make you feel like that, but it does not matter. Stick to your guns, rely on your circle, lean on your people, let them tell you the truth, because this person is lying to you because they have an ulterior motive, and it's not for your good, it's for their good. So nope,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna continue to combat that. I'm
Oh, you
popping up
froze,
more,
Nova.
and all of that.
There you go.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
froze
popping up
for a
more.
second.
I'm
Say that last
trimming.
sentence. Say that last
I
sentence again,
said,
because you froze.
as a friend, I'm showing up more. I'm popping up more. I'm here for you no matter what, even if you're
Right.
reluctant. Like when I said I was on my way, they're like, "Oh, but I'm in a sad mood. I don't want to bring you down," and I didn't even respond to that. I was knocking on the door in 10 minutes. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm here. Like I don't care.
Yeah, fuck that. We gonna cry
Yeah,
together.
we
Let's
gonna
go.
cry together. I'm gonna
That's
cry.
it.
I'm always gonna cry.
And listen, that is for the fellas too.
Yes.
Like there are things, and I'm saying this now, putting it out here. Y'all tell y'all friends to tell y'all friends to tell y'all friends. I know of active abuse situations where women are being abusive and men are being abusive as we speak. People actively in a lifestyle that are victims of different forms of abuse, be it physical or otherwise. I'm gonna give y'all a chance to work this out on your own. But I'm gonna tell you, a lot of you motherfuckers is gonna want to fight me because if this shit don't change and I keep hearing about it, I'm going to air it out live on here for everybody to hear because that's not being messy. That's called blowing the fucking whistle and not accepting behavior. And I don't care about backlash because you ain't none of you gonna touch me.
Or pay your bills.
Now I don't give a fuck about that. I'm paying my own shit. I'm talking about they ain't going. I ain't see a lot of people don't like to say shit because they don't want the retaliation. They don't want the confrontation. I want the confrontation. You want to be big and bad? Come bring that shit over here. We could go step in the ring. We could get all that shit out your system. Go a couple of rounds, and I'll bring some girls. For the girls that like to be handsy, so that this way you can step in the ring with them. Let them show you what fighting really feel like since you like putting hands on niggas that ain't trying to hit you.
Yeah, no, don't put
Because we're
hands on
not doing
anybody.
that in this part of the community, this little part of the universe that we all exist in. We are going to protect each other.
Yes.
If you don't like that, then get the fuck out. Because I'm telling you, when I start airing niggas out, y'all think I'm joking. I'm telling you, I know so much I could fucking create a shitstorm in a lifestyle if I wanted to. I'm not going to do that. But my point is that when it comes to the abuse stuff, oh, I'm telling.
Yeah.
I'm just saying because I know things are in the works and some people are trying to get counseling and some people trying to figure it out. Okay. But just understand, I'm putting it out there from today. What's today? March 11th?
March 11th.
2025.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all only got but so long before the whistle is blown on this. And I ain't going to forget. I might joke around and forget a little stupid shit. Trust me, when it comes to abuse, I ain't going to forget this.
Same.
So you need to let them know, those that ain't watching, the men that don't want to hear me, a lot of times are the same men that's running away the moment that the girls tell them, oh shit, she's with Max. Oh, nah, I'm not. So my thing is tell a friend to tell a friend that they are put on notice as of today. Period.
We don't stand for that. We do not stand for anything abusive, physical, emotional, verbal, mental, financial. Like CJ said, we not standing for any, or Sharon.
Oh, you see the financial abuse comment.
Yeah, no abuse.
I would like explanation on the financial abuse statement, though. That's interesting.
I actually was watching this show on Netflix called The Maid, and the lady was saying how she forgot to pay a bill on time, and so her partner took the debit card and all access to the bank accounts. And so he had complete control over all the finances and she didn't have any input or say. That's part of financial abuse. When someone says or when someone is the head of the household and they take care of things, but they won't pay for a doctor's appointment. They won't pay for certain things that are about your health and well-being because they don't want to. I actually worked with someone whose partner changed their insurance so that they couldn't get mental health counseling anymore. That is financial abuse. Like those kinds of things, people, they see okay, or they'll call your job and get you in trouble. They'll keep you from going to work. Like whatever they can do to minimize your resources, that's part of financial abuse.
Fuck. That's some heavy shit.
It happens.
That is some heavy shit.
And being the dope ass therapist that I am, I was like, I will see you for free. Because you're not gonna do that. You know, and every therapist is not like that, and that's their right. You know, we deserve to be compensated for our work, but I don't care. Like if you're unsafe, I'd rather you be working on your safety here than not having any resources or having eliminated resources.
Right. And that's something that we have to be mindful of, is that when you see, and once again, this goes down to somebody being controlling, being that they are using whatever leverage they feel like they have on you to manipulate you, be it physical, mental, financial, or otherwise, or because they know emotionally you're locked in, or even living situation wise, because they might know you really have nowhere else to go.
Right.
So they use that over you because they're like, where are you going to go? You ain't leaving. What you going to do? Sleep on the street? I tell you ladies this, and I say this to the ladies. The ladies talk this shit all the time. You know how y'all like the men that pay for everything and you don't want to work and you want to be a stay-at-home mom and all that shit? That's a good way to set yourself up for financial abuse. Now that I hear the definition played out all the way. Because if you don't have your own income and everything that you're getting is going through this man, now you're putting yourself in a position to where you can't make a move without him. That's a dangerous situation to put yourself in. I'm not saying not to trust your partner, because I know everybody's not like that.
It's hard. You gotta have a partner you can trust.
But honestly, I personally think in this day and age, this is my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like even if you are a stay-at-home mom or something, you should have a business. You should have some kind of hustle, something that you can do that can at least allow you to survive. It's like being like, with me, I say you got to think like Batman. You got to always have a contingency ready just in case.
Just in case.
Because you never know when somebody could turn the block on you and totally be a whole different person.
And one of the last things I want to say about it is that abusers are very smooth. No one, like the show that I was telling you guys about, I want you guys to watch that show. It's called The Maid on Netflix. It's only 10 episodes. It's a short, series. But one of the things they said is nobody goes on a first date and was like, oh yeah, I'm going to hurt you and I'm going to make sure that you feel like you're a piece of crap, right? Like it's smooth and it's subtle and it starts with small signs. And so make sure that when you see the signs, recognize them. When you see the red flags, do something about it. Abusers will make sure that they're good with your parents, make sure that, like even like your people at church or your people at work think that they're like the most upstanding person. So when you do something or when you leave, they're like, why? But he's such a good guy. She's such a great woman. That is intentional so that it makes you feel like, well, maybe it's not that bad. Right?
Ooh, I have a good one. And it actually was triggered from what Harley said about the abusers have a track record, which is very true. Let me tell you this. This is a good one from when you first meet them and you're going to date them.
That's right.
Pay attention to the dudes or chicks who always seem to have a lot of toxic past relationships. Those who, if they see their ex-partner in the street, it's practically on sight because they hate each other so much or whatever. Because often those are people who have the proclivity to, and even if they haven't acted on it yet, they have the proclivity to be these abusive and toxic and dangerous people that you do not want to partner with.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like I use myself as an example, 95% of my exes, if I see them today, it'll be a hug. Hey, how you doing? We just didn't work out. It's okay. A couple of them, actually one of them, I did her taxes. She paid me to do her taxes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I keep my coolness because you can break up. Like, adults get together and break up all the time. It, every relationship isn't meant to work. It's
Right.
okay, but it
Right.
should not be a violent, nasty, or toxic breakup. When you see somebody that always having issues, like I actually
Always.
know somebody like that, but he's not abusive, but he tends to always have issues with his girls, but that's because he's argumentative. He doesn't understand the game when it comes to dealing with shorties and understanding like certain things about how you engage with them. You know, I ain't gonna go into that here because that's a whole other show in itself. But my whole thing is that you have to recognize the signs from the beginning. And I know it sounds crazy because this dating world and everything, and a lot of people suffer with anxiety. So this just makes you more nervous or what. Listen, it's better to be err on the side of caution. Don't be crazy. Like, don't turn neurotic about it and think the moment that somebody wipes their ass sideways or sneezes in a way that reminds you of something, some abusive person, don't be that. But what we're saying is some signs are really obvious. And you need to pay attention because a lot of y'all tend to, oh, it's not that serious. He just was a little. Then if he hits you one time, oh, or she, because I got to remember to say he or she.
Yes.
If he or she does that violent thing to you one time, you just say, she was just, or he was just mad. They was just wilding. I'm going to say they for now.
Or
they was just wild.
It was me, right? Nothing in a person, if it's in their character, if it's not in their character, they won't do it, right? So if someone pisses me off, there's never been a relationship, friendship that I've been in that someone made me that angry that I had to become physical with them or even degrade them, right? So it's never your fault. Like, you can be upset with someone, but they're in charge of their reaction. And so that is the one important thing. Like, you're not, I don't care how mad I make you, you better have some type of self-control to be like, I need to go.
And Lord knows, Nova, you be making me mad, Joe. You know what I'm saying?
For those reasons. But
making me mad. But
we can talk about this all day, every day, because abuse is really important for both of us. We make sure that we're safe spaces, right? And I know for a fact, I tell people who know you and don't know you, Max, that you're a safe space for me. I feel safer when I know you're in the building. And, like, I know for a fact that people know that I'm a safe space for them also. And so
they see us on this show together. So if they don't understand that you are one of the women under my protection, they now know that now. I have quite a few women who are under my personal protection. So woe be tied to you if one of them come running up to me. Because you got to understand, I press 3 buttons on my phone, and this turns, even if you try to get back up, it won't be enough.
Listen.
I'm just going to tell you. And that's if there's anything left of you when I'm finished with you.
Yeah, we don't play those games. We don't play about safety. And I like the comment, if you've ever been in a relationship, one of the things that I want people to walk away from this conversation with is that you can contact your local domestic violence shelter or a national.
I wish I had the number.
And
I'm going to pull up the number. Go ahead.
And you can contact them and make a safety plan. You don't always have to leave. That doesn't have to be the first step. And there should be steps that you take to make sure that you're safe. If you know that you're in an abusive relationship or you feel like you're in an abusive relationship, you can call. These people are funded, right? And you can call them. They will talk to you. They will do a safety plan with you. It's 100% confidential. And you can have a plan. They can tell you, like, okay, make sure that if you can get to your phone, text a code word to a friend or something like that. There are safety plans that you can make if you're not ready to leave. We want you to leave, but if you're not ready to leave, there are safety plans that can be made in the meantime, in between time. Take care of yourself.
That's 100%.
If you think that you're being abused, if you're not sure that you're being manipulated, call. Call.
Because that's not something that you could play with.
No, and there's one place in Saratoga, New York, which is like 45 minutes away from me. Once you go to their website, there's like one click that will get you off their website in case your abuser is near you. Like
Uh-huh.
these people, like the domestic violence people they're smart and they know how to keep you safe even when you're looking for help.
Like that's very important. And here's the
Yes.
thing, I put the number up for those. I put it on YouTube and I put it on Facebook, so it's forever cemented there. That is a national domestic violence hotline. You
Yes.
can call any time of the day or the night. They speak up to 200 different languages.
Hmm.
Um, you can go and call that number and get the help that you need if
Yes.
you feel that you are in some kind of danger.
Hmm.
Um, Also, I'm gonna go one further, but the only reason I'm not putting the link up is because when you put links up, it doesn't always work on
Yeah.
the on the things. Facebook and YouTube tend to fuck it up
And save the
sometimes.
number
But
under under someone else's number or under your doctor's number name or something like that. Save if you need
right,
to save the number, save it under a different name. If you need to save it under Mac's name or Nova name, whatever, right? Whatever name you need to save it under, so that it's not a concern.
right. And with all of that being said, we got to get to more of this because there's so much more in this to come. If you need to talk on the side, my inbox is open.
Mine
You
too.
see, you see, Nova's a licensed therapist. I'm more of a consultant. I just counsel people on relationships and stuff like that for the most part. But I deal with a lot of domestic violence, and I will push you up the chain if that's what needs to happen. Most of the time, it's things I can handle. I can refer you to a place. I can help you get the right connections to who you need to get to. But like I said, you also have Nova here. She's a licensed therapist. She
Yes.
knows what she's talking about. She deals with all of this stuff. And what I'm trying to tell you is you have resources right here in your hands,
Yes.
right here in your face. So don't sit quiet. And I know some of y'all watching right now is probably sitting quiet and low key thinking to yourself, damn, I want to say something. Thank you, Joy. I knew Joy was going to come up with some information soon enough.
We love
Yes, you can also text start to 88788
Yes.
and you text that, and I'm gonna share that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's something that's very important. You understand what I'm saying? These are things that we have to do to stop the cycle because we're losing so many of our fellow human beings to things like domestic violence. And these are what you call avoidable circumstances.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just requires us to be a little proactive. It requires us to pay attention. It requires us to do the work. We need to eliminate the normality of violence in the home. And with any of us, whether it be male or female or whatever in between, it's something that needs to be stopped. And it only can be stopped if y'all are willing to start, like to start on that text message.
Yes. I love
Now, with
that.
all that being said, I gotta do my promo things and all that shit.
Yes, and so if you
I
leave your situation now, you'll have enough time to get to some of these events.
Yes, then you'll actually be able to come out and actually fucking do something instead. And we gonna start off where we normally start off at, right here with the Street Friends Pillow Talk podcast with Izzy and Jonathan.
Yes.
Mondays 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know that's something you want to check out. Once again, there's another licensed therapist on that show too. Jonathan, as much as he jokes around, is very much about that life as well.
That's right.
And I'm pretty sure he'll tell you a lot of this stuff that we're telling you now.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not a game. So, like I said, it's very informative. Check out the show, all that good stuff. We're going to roll on. We're going to roll on. We're going to roll on. We got BLX podcast.
We got to make sure we shout out Izzy. She's all about women's empowerment.
Where's that at?
Izzy on the Monday night show.
Oh, yes. My bad. See, you threw me off. You made me think I missed a flyer or something.
No.
Nah, but all right. So we have the BLX podcast coming on this Wednesday, March 12th, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Apparently, they have a guest, Adonis, on there. He's going to be talking about his experiences and stuff in the lifestyle and all of that. And I think it's involving like the BDSM and his
Ooh.
journey and things like that. So it's gonna be very interesting.
Tune in.
I highly suggest tuning in. I'll be tuned in. I'll probably be driving while I'm tuned in, but I'll be tuned in nonetheless.
That's right.
Let's see what else we got here. Shout out to the Naughty and Nice. You know, that's the
Yes.
game night toys. You already know it's virtual toys as well as physical toys can be requested as well. Um,
Good
I
tour.
personally think that these games are great for icebreakers for people who are a little shy, people that, you know, want to open up a little bit, you know, get a little familiar with some things. I feel like this is something that needs to definitely be engaged in, and let's support each other. So let's, you know,
Yes.
keep this sister, you know, moving around out here. You know, she's been a
Booked
little
and
busy doing
busy.
some things, but she's still here. Huh?
Yes. I said we got to keep her booked and busy. We got to get some LS game nights, some meet and greet game nights. It's going to be great.
Exactamundo, because those things are very important to
Mhm.
make sure that we get those through. Ah, look at this. I believe there's a Mardi Gras event this weekend, the 15th at Caligula. Lola
Okay.
Entertainment is throwing that.
Ah.
Um, it's the Boobs and Bead edition. That sounds very interesting.
That sounds fun.
So I say pull up, have a good time. It's definitely a good crowd, a lot of positivity,
Yes.
all of
Lola
that
knows how to
stuff.
throw a
You
party.
know, definitely gotta get in on that. We're gonna keep it moving. Don't want to harp on these too long. Um, this is my semi-formal event that me and my crew of friends in the vanilla world throw, especially if you're part of the Caribbean Massive. You already know what time it is. It's a
Mhm.
heavy Caribbean crowd, but we play music for everybody. So feel free to come out, put on a nice outfit. It's a good date night event. If you like, you're looking at your lady and say, you know, we're gonna do something non-LS this night,
Yeah.
just to have something sexy to go to.
Mhm.
This is the way you want to be at. The food's gonna be delicious. It's curated and created like it's a nice menu.
Yes.
The decor is gonna be nice. It's very positive, mature crowd. You can screenshot this, or a matter of fact, DM me, and I will give you the information as far as for tickets. And pay attention to my story too, because I'm gonna be pushing and promoting and all of this stuff for the next couple of weeks, you know, to get people to pop out from this side of the fence, because I'll be happy to have y'all and see y'all there. Like I said, it's a beautiful date night event. If you want to go out with your girls, maybe meet some
Yes.
new guys. There's a lot of successful guys that come to these kind of events. So I say you might want to pull up and meet you a winner, you know what I'm saying, and see what happens. You know, you never know. It could be anywhere, so be mindful of that. All right, our next one up for bid here is this one, which is Jonathan's birthday celebration. That is a floor crawl event, meaning there's one floor taken over, very limited rooms left. So if you want to book a room, you better get at Jonathan directly. If you don't have his contact, you can hit me up. I'll link you to him and we'll get you locked in with a room so you could be on that floor.
It's
Because
gonna be
even though
some
there might be
fun.
other things in the building, you want to be on a floor with a crawling going on so you could be in the middle of all the action. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes.
Let me see. I think we got almost everything, right? No, there's a little bit more. But there's, oh yeah, we have the Sunsets at Grand Lido, Queen Amethyst's event, which I'm very, very much looking forward to pulling up on myself. I feel like I've made my decision as to whether I was going or not. So from the 12th to the 15th of December, I will be in the sun, getting all of my skin rained
Melanie.
on, you know, by the thing. And I don't have the flyer for it, but we are going to celebrate my boo Leah's birthday there.
Oh,
So, oh, no,
nice.
not at this. Damn it. I read that wrong. No, that's at Jonathan's thing. My bad.
Oh, okay.
That's yeah, because her birthday's the 11th. So we're going to celebrate her birthday. at Jonathan's floor crawl joint. And, it's going to be lit. It's going to be a nice situation. I'm mad I don't have the flyer. Of all people, I should have the flyer. I don't have it. But anyway, so that's the situation with that. Like I said, sunsets at Grand Lido, December 12th to 15th. The information's on the flyer, how you can reach out. readytoescape.com. You got the phone number there. Screenshot this and you can get yourself set up. Very limited rooms. I'm telling you, I'm probably booking about 1 or 2 rooms myself. But that's going to take another couple. I just had to get confirmation before I could set it up. But I've already made my decision. So once I get my confirm, I'm locking those in and that's it. All right, we're going to move on. We got one more real quick. And of course, the hotel takeover for Discreet Friends. And guess what? That happens to be my birthday weekend. So it's going to be yet another one of those kind of things. I'm not even going to start to say the shit that I'm going to do. I'm going to just do it because I'm not, as a matter of fact, I'm not even taking no lists. I'm not writing no names down, saying who's going to be in the RGB that I'm going to be hosting. Me and my dick are the hosts of the RGB. So if you happen to be around and the vibes is vibing, when the vibes is vibing, then the situation is going to happen and it's going to be what it is. And that's what it was. And that's what it'd be like. Anyway,
that's going to be fun.
So I think we covered everything with all of that. And nope, not that one. Yep. So we are good on those. You have any final words before we say goodnight to the ladies and gents of the thing?
To make sure that you're taking care of yourself, that you deserve love that doesn't hurt you or feel bad. And if you feel like you might be in an unsafe situation, it's okay to reach out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I got to say.
Yes. And for me, I say like this. I ain't got no problem dragging a nigga. Please, let's stop accepting the bullshit. We can easily handle whatever it is they dish out.
We can do this.
So my thing is y'all have to speak up. Because as much as I am happy to be the whistleblower, I shouldn't have to. It needs to come from you. Because only when you make the decision to make the move, abusees, do you get away from the abuser.
Yeah.
And friends of abusers and abusees, y'all got to hold them accountable. Especially the abusers. Well, no, actually, there really is no especially, because on either side, you really got to stay on. Mm-hmm. And with the abusers, fellas, ladies, you see this thing happening, you got to remove themselves from everything. Make it so, it's like finding out that they steal from the store every other day and you telling their business. Oh, you leaked this shit. Don't keep this to yourself.
Don't keep it to yourself. Don't keep it to yourself.
Yes. Anyway, that's all we got for tonight. We'll continue this next week. Next week, we're going to be on here doing splits and slinging things around. We're going to let y'all see what we working with under these clothes and all that other shit. No, I'm capping. Anyway. Oh, also, I'm putting up the IG page because the IG page, I'm back on it with the IG page. I didn't tell you about that yet, Nova, but we got the IG page. I followed you though, so you should see it on your thing.
Okay.
So I have to put a special code in to make it stream on IG too, but we're gonna start streaming from there too, starting next week. Okay. So I need y'all to be actively sharing. Those that might not have Facebook, those that might not fuck with YouTube, they probably have an IG. So at least like, share, subscribe, follow the IG, all of y'all. A lot of y'all I have followed already, so just give me that follow back. Some of y'all handled that already. Thank you for those that did. And we'll catch you next week.
Yes.
Same bat time, on time, or before time, but not after time. Anyway, we holler at y'all. Peace.